I'm wearing this coat because it's cold.
Oh, babe, it's drag. I don't get cold.
Do you know?
No, never. I'm a very hot person anyway.
Yeah, you are. You're one of the hottest people in show business.
So hot.
Okay, hi, ladies and gentlemen, and gender non-conforming siblings. Welcome to another episode of Those Other Queens. I'm here with our UK pork chop for season 4, Just May.
Hi, it's me, Just May, the first eliminated queen who no one remembers and
I,
relatively no one cares.
in all the history of the Drag Race franchises, I feel like, other than Vanjie, I think you're very memorable.
Well, get fucked.
No, I think you are. I've known you for so long, and I love your drag. I think you're amazing. One of the hardest working drag queens in show business in London. But like, I honestly think it was slightly wasted that we didn't get to see more of your humor and joy and loveliness.
And the ironic thing is, I was entirely wasted the whole time I was on TV. So,
Maybe that will go at the top of the of the premiere of this episode. Okay, so we are on episode 2 of Canada versus the World. It is very exciting because of the fact that I'm Canadian and British. So I thought, what better way than to chat with my favorite queens and talk about this episode? So we had an eliminated queen. We had Kendall Jenner gone from last episode. How did you feel about that?
I didn't think that she was going to go. I honestly didn't. I was kind of surprised. I thought that Stephanie was going to go in the first episode. And I didn't want her to. I just thought she was, just the way that it was being portrayed.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, no, I'm kind of shocked that they got rid of a Canada girl straight off.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I think that like I spoke to Bombay about it last episode, and I just feel like I just didn't really think Kendall brought it, but it's not their fault. I mean, there were rumors that they didn't have much time to get ready, but it was like I was like, you know what? I'm totally here for Canada versus the World or any versus the World franchise. It's just being cutthroat, so you don't know who's going to
Yeah,
go. That's really
yeah,
great.
they that is the thing. It's not. I feel like it's a weird bridge between an All Stars and a regular season.
Yeah.
Like it's not quite an All Stars.
Mhm.
I mean, they are All Stars, obviously, but it's not like. Do you know what I mean? There's like this. It's a weird bridge, and yeah, I think that that's why you can never really tell who's going to get eliminated. It's always a bit of a shock.
I always have to remind myself that we're watching it like Eurovision, and it's like it's people representing countries and drag, and so it's a really nice way to like have a perspective shift rather than just be like, which queen do I love the most?
Yeah, and also like I've seen yeah this season I have seen all of the other franchise. I've seen all of the franchises that they were in.
Yeah.
Whereas last season I hadn't seen Janie.
Okay.
I've not seen a Holland. I'm sorry.
Really, Holland is really good. Shout out,
Is
shout
it?
out, shout out Envy Peru. Shout out Jenny J.K. Shout
I've
out
seen
everybody.
bits. I've seen bits. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, we're gonna move into this episode. We get back into the workroom and we find out that Stephanie was not chosen, right? To leave by
She was not. Rita Baga got chose Kendall as well.
yeah. So like it was I think it was a unanimous decision.
It was
Um
a shock, yeah.
yeah,
Although they didn't show all of the lipsticks like they do in All Stars,
yeah, they don't. It's
which
really
I kind of like. I like that bit. I like to know who everyone nominated because it's like, oh, I can see where your allegiances lie. I'd like to have known what the Canada girls voted.
yeah. Wait, hold on. Is it like that as well? They don't do nominations. What
No,
show
they
is
don't. That's why. That's why you don't see it.
Oh my God. Just no.
I know my
No.
franchises.
Do you even know which season we're watching?
It's Poland versus the world.
Yeah, no, it's Qatar versus the world.
Oh shit! I'm
Yeah.
2 seasons ahead.
Okay, so we have a mini challenge that's a reading challenge. And how did you feel about this? Did you have any memorable people? Did you have anyone you're like, that was awkward?
All of them.
Yeah, I know,
It
right?
was all very awkward. None of I even thought that Victoria was gonna smash out a couple, and
Yeah.
I do think that maybe she did get a couple, but maybe they just didn't land in the room.
Yeah.
Also, though, I'm very glad that Was it Silky brought up Isis's hair?
Yeah. I don't know if it was Silky brought up Isis's hair. I watched it this morning. I'm trying to remember.
Someone did. And I was like,
Yeah, the
I,
toupee. Silky did talk about the
yeah,
toupee.
I'm
Yes.
so glad that someone brought up the elephant in the room.
Yeah. I was like, what's a toupee? And then I was like, cute. I mean, I don't really mind it. I'm not sitting here like,
No, I'm here for it because it's a great, it's a great hat,
yeah,
lovely hat.
fringes
I
are
think it's a
in.
lovely hat.
Yeah. I loved it when Raja was like, it's coming true. I like
Exactly.
having to reinforce their own read.
I mean, well, someone had to, but I think Anita did the best, but
Yeah,
that was very much the best of a bad bunch. It was we were looking at table scraps.
exactly. It kind of felt like we don't want to say that this is a season full of mediocre queens at all because that's not the truth. They're all incredible
Well,
queens.
when it comes to reading,
Yeah, but when it comes to reading, there was no one who throws mega shade. Isis is the only person who's really good at being rude all the time.
yeah, but also sometimes I think that that might come across catty, not
Yeah.
necessarily bitchy,
Well,
but like sometimes I'm watching her and I'm like, oh, I think I know where you're coming from with that, but I think that maybe you could have put it better.
yeah, it's like it's a delivery and also it's a I think just a lack of like sensitivity. But I mean sometimes that makes people fierce and sometimes it makes them a bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anita though, I thought Anita was gonna come in there and slay it, but Anita always delivers her reads with a smile on their face. So you're just like, are
I
you gonna
know. And it's that big goofy smile, and you're like, oh, you couldn't be mad at it.
I know it's crazy. It's like you're like, are you gonna slice my head off or throw shade?
And apparently do both
Yeah, I guess so.
with
I
a big smile.
I really, really, really enjoyed Silky Nutmeg and Ash's. Um, the chicken was so dry that I had to eat it in the rain.
I actually I did laugh at that.
But why though? Is it because I like chicken?
You like chicken?
I love chicken. I eat chicken all the time.
Well, maybe that's why. Maybe it really resonated with you. Is your chicken dry?
Well, maybe I like well, Singing in the Rain is one of my favorite films, and I could just visualize it. I was like eating chicken in the rain. It's like someone lets a cake out in the rain. I don't know. Something there just did it for me.
It maybe that's your new fetish.
Is it?
Chicken and rain.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, get a drumstick, turn the shower on. If it
Yeah.
ain't raining, make it.
Stick a drumstick in your anus in the shower, and then you'll never be able to have sex the same way again.
No, that's how you're always going to have to do it.
Exactly.
It's going to really ruin the sex toy industry because people will just be buying poultry instead.
Is that a good way to debone?
Well, at least
Is
someone's getting boned.
it- Okay, so we have the snatch game as the maxi challenge. I get really.
Summit.
What were you gonna do for snatch game?
I was going to do Anne Robinson.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh. Um, and then I landed myself in it by saying to Rylan that I was going to do him. So I then had to make my Rylan outfit better than it was because the Rylan outfit that I took with me
Yeah.
was so bad because
Yeah.
I just had it in case.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
How much did you spend on Drag Race in total?
Enough.
Enough. Because it's crazy.
Enough.
I just don't really. It's always like it boggles my mind. People have so many different versions, especially on a series like Canada vs. World. Like they get changed for their lip syncs as well. It's like, how do you take that many outfits?
I mean, how do you take that many outfits when you've got to go across the pond as well? Because that means that Victoria and Vanity had to pack the allotted amount of suitcases
Yeah.
and then get it over. And like when you're going to Drag Race, you can kind of be very fast and loose with what you call a suitcase.
Mhm.
But when you've got to get on a plane, you
Yeah.
can't be fast and loose. You've got to have a hard ziplock suitcase.
Yeah, exactly. And also like this finale runway for this episode, not the finale, but like the final runway for this episode, you would not be able to get half of that shit over to Canada.
Well, I think that's where you'd be calling up designers from over there, being like, "Hi, can I get this delivered to so and so and pick it up?" And
True, you're right. You're right, and also you might just like send it over ahead of time. I'm not sure, but that's behind the scenes. Let's talk about what happened on the Snatch Game. I feel like as we get more and more drag races in the franchise, that we have weaker and weaker Snatch Games.
I think it's just that a lot of great people have been done, and
Okay.
like you're treading a board of, do I repeat something or do I go for something fresh and hope that it lands?
Yeah, and also with this is like a this Eurovision type drag race setup is it you have to have someone that everyone around the world knows.
Yeah, I don't think there was anyone that I didn't know.
I didn't know Gilda, Rita Baga's character.
Oh, I just assumed it was an old French woman.
True, but I love to know these characters. Like you know how we see like little Edie with Jinx, or we see someone
Yeah.
Diana Vreeland in fashion, and I'm like, oh, I love fashion. I love Diana Vreeland's work. I get the nuances. Sometimes I really am like, okay, I wish I was more worldly so I could understand this or spend some time there. And I'm Canadian, and I had no idea who that was.
Well, maybe they need to teach you better in Canada.
Well, because Canada's quite a long, like it's like a wide country, and like I'm from Vancouver, and like Rita Baga's from like the other side of Canada. So that whole world, especially like the French-speaking Canada, they don't really cross-pollinate.
Yeah. And also, maybe this woman was actually French as well, not just French Canadian.
Yeah, maybe. But
Who knows?
speaking of French and Canadian and Canada as a whole, we had the first ever politician on the show.
We did, which I
Justin.
heard there was some, he said some problematic things or done some problematic things.
Did he? What did he do?
Has he? I don't know. You should know better than me.
Girl, I'm trying to make sure that the UK doesn't buckle in on itself.
Well, I mean, look, let's give it to him this way. He's fit and he showed up. And
Yeah, I mean,
sorry,
you just choke on your own saliva while you said he's fit.
I I choked on something, and it's normally big and hairy.
The whole thing
All 7.5 centimeters.
of your fur ball that you're going to cough up.
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau was there. I mean, they were making a big point, being like, we hope to see more politicians and like, I guess leaders of countries on Drag Race, which I agree. But also, I think like it's
I
cute.
don't think I want to see a UK politician on UK Drag Race. I think if I was standing in that workroom and Richie Sunak turned up, I'd be like, I'm out.
Would
Get
you?
the fire exit doors, I'm out.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a bit tone deaf, isn't it? Especially when like they're just doing it for optics. But I think Justin has actually been like quite an LGBTQIA supporter, in Canada.
That's
So
good.
it was cute to see, and it was so nice to see everyone say hello.
My favorite thing, and I hope this continues throughout the series, is when someone Canadian walks in and Silky's just like,
Silky just said in the flesh.
yeah, like she hasn't got a clue who this man is.
No, what doesn't
He
care?
could have been a showrunner for all she knew.
Are you my Deliveroo driver?
Yeah, literally.
That's so funny. So we had characters for Snatch Game that follows. We had Silky as Lizzo, we had Donatella portrayed by Isis Couture, we had Cardi B as Stephanie. Let's like debunk those three. What do you think about Lizzo?
Um, it was just Silky in a Lizzo outfit,
True.
which
And
isn't a bad thing.
but I feel like the first line that Silky said was actually the way that the intonation that she had when she was doing a read, and I was like, yeah, Silky's really just dressed like Lizzo.
Yeah, but she looked great.
Yeah.
Like the hair, the outfit, it was all right. Um, I just was looking at Silky.
I mean, yeah, I think Silk is just like one of those like the sweethearts of Drag Race where everyone just loves her.
Yeah,
Everyone shades her.
yeah.
Like
Like
you.
she spoke shit about me on her Binge Queen series, and I was like,
What did she
"Oh,
say?
Silky, I'll let her off."
Oh, fine. Yeah, exactly. So what did you think about Isis portraying Donatella?
I was worried, but also then as soon as it kicked in, I was
Yeah,
like, "This is hilarious."
yeah, it's
But
great.
I love it when people corpse at their own jokes, and she was big on that. She was laughing at her own jokes, and I was like, "If you're laughing, I'm laughing."
What I find really hot about Isis Couture is the way that they have this sort of like winner disposition where they banter with the judges in a way that they feel like they're one of the judges.
Yeah,
And it's really sexy.
yeah. It's like it's like leaving school and then going back and being friends with the teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Or being in school and then just like hanging out and the teacher doesn't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going and having lunch in the teacher's lounge.
Yeah.
Like Isis isn't eating with these girls in the workroom. She's off at the catering stand with Brooklyn and Tracy Melshaw having a whale of a time. She's having a sausage sandwich, a
Is this
hot one.
our new pun is Icy's teacher.
There you go.
That's the dumbest joke I've ever made.
No, you've made dumber.
Oh, I made worse. Yeah, of course. So we had Raja as Big Frida,
Great.
and we had Stephanie as Cardi B, and we had Anita as Adele. But we forgot about Stephanie. So let's chat about Stephanie's Cardi B.
She just gave Cardi isms.
Hmm.
It was like I've watched 3 episodes. I've watched 3 programs with Cardi B in, and she goes all
This
the
is
time. So I'm gonna do that.
this is like a pop star curse almost, because you basically, as soon as you play Lady Gaga, Beyonce, or anyone who has a style when they're singing, they just don't have a personality.
Yeah, and I think the thing that we've learned with Snatch Game is to do people that you don't know,
Yeah,
because that way you can do whatever and make it funny.
that's for
If you
sure.
do someone like Cardi B, it's so current that she's too in the zeitgeist, like she's too well known. You
Yeah,
can't falter it. And I think the same kind of fell with Lizzo. That's why everyone's like, she wasn't Lizzo, she was Silky.
you're
But then
absolutely.
with Donatella, you don't really know that much about her except for she's fashion and she's
You've got to give one of your character needs to be like 80% accurate and then 20% ridiculous.
yeah,
And that's what I feel like personally. So this is why we had like a great Caitlyn Jenner, or we had like an amazing like Adele from Ginger Minge. Speaking of
yeah.
Adele, Anita.
Where was the Adele?
I love Anita Wiglet. I think she's incredible. She's so sweet. She's like the white version of Silky, like just so sweet,
Yeah.
and you don't want her to leave. But I just, when she said, I thought I did well, I was like, what?
Where were you? It's like it was like Starlet saying, I really enjoyed myself out there.
I
Um,
At the finale, I yelled at Starla that she was silly when we're about to. I was like, she's so silly.
she's so goofy.
You're so crazy, Starlet.
Um,
That clip
but
I
I
have at the finale of Starlet in that corset and Ty is just texting in the middle of the
oh
party
my
is great.
but why is her body that big and her legs are that big?
I don't know. Starlet's
Best
incredible.
picture ever. Best picture ever.
Yeah, it was really good. You messaged her like lol.
Yeah.
It was
Um,
good. Um,
I there was no Adele. The outfit wasn't Adele. The hair wasn't Adele. The makeup wasn't Adele. Adele has like such a minimal makeup, and that was just not Adele.
I don't want to sound rude, but like what Anita gave us looked like someone who was in like released from jail and had like 20 minutes to get ready for court.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was very that energy,
she
especially when
she she stole a bottle of Lamborghini and she was on remand and she had to go back to court that day.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly the energy I was getting. Very
Yeah,
Charlize Theron in Monster.
but also she kind of looked how Brooke looked when she did um My Heart Will Go On, Celine Dion.
Oh yeah. Do you think so? I mean,
Yeah, like just a
she did look
flat
more,
long wig and a blazer.
she did look more Celine Dion than she did look like, yeah, you're right. I didn't see any Adele.
The hair wasn't even red. Adele has like that blondie red hair.
I feel like once you have a drag queen that nails the snatch game, don't touch that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't do it.
And she nailed the queen. So
Yeah,
she had a lot to live up to.
yeah, she did. So we had, speaking of queens, from England, we have Victoria Scone, who did Kim Woodburn.
Should have been great, but I think that it's too much like Victoria as an actual person.
Mm, I agree, and I also think that Victoria was just being really polite.
Yeah.
It was
Like
like,
I wanted her to stand up and be like chicken livered shit.
yeah. So basically, I had the pleasure of meeting Kim Woodburn on my show, The Big Proud Party Agency, streaming now on BBC iPlayer. And she basically walked up to me and grabbed my nipples and then said, "You're really fit," and almost like licked me. when we first met
She
her.
should have done that to Big Frida.
Yeah, she should have done that. And like Kim is just like so like gregarious and like gargantuanly inappropriate.
Or she should have like had a giant like mug and poured gin in and been like, you know that thing that Kim
Yeah.
does where she pours loads of gin in and then she puts like that much tonic in. She's like,
Yeah, it needs to be a bit more stupid and a bit more louder. So I mean, I love Victoria Scott. I think she's amazing. I think you're amazing, Victoria. But like, I feel like that was just really, really tame, on the verge of taking a nap.
yeah.
Yeah, like she was just chilling.
But on the
I
other
feel like she was like
hand,
a good Nanny McPhee.
oh, well, I mean, was it a good name, McPhee? Was
I don't
name
know
McPhee even good?
why she should have been Nanny McPhee. I don't know who should she have been. Trying to think.
I
But
think it was a good choice. I just don't think she went far enough.
yeah, no, true. That's what I
And
mean.
also, I really loved the prop, the feather duster. That could have been used so much more.
I haven't seen that in ages. Be funny if she had like a condom over it.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
could have
something.
done some gross stuff like that. Although, does anyone want to put like a lubey condom on a feather duster?
It kind of depends on if some people don't get them lubed. But anyways, I feel like we shouldn't drag Victoria because I love her, and as I really really think that like it was good, and I'm glad they're not on the bottom.
Yeah, she wasn't in the bottom,
Yeah,
but could have been.
Saved by Stephanie.
Well,
Okay, so we had Rita Vega's Gilda, French.
French
Vintage.
lady, French
Yeah,
lady, vaguely funny. Some bits. I kind of wish whenever people do characters that are foreign,
yeah,
I want them to do it in their own language. Like, with her, do it in French the
yeah,
whole time and then just say one word in English in every sentence. But like
yeah.
a stupid word. So like
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do a French accent. I can't speak French. But like French, 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 um, anal beads.
Yeah. Kind of like when Alaska did who did she do in All Stars 2? When she had
Oh, come off and
Marlena,
see
yeah,
Marlene
yeah,
Dietrich.
yeah, when she did that and just kind of added this sort of like really contemporary, like sex positive Marlena was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really great. And so I think like we needed a bit of that. But again, maybe I'll Google and see what happened there. But I
Who
kind
knows
of
who she is? Maybe you'll find out that actually that was her being sexy.
she could be my mom or my
She
dad.
might be. I think I'm actually related to her. I'm part French.
She's like
The finger, French.
French finger. Oh, I really want poutine now that we keep talking about Canada. Have you ever had it?
No, I don't eat cheese.
Do you not?
No,
You seem like a cheese person to me.
no, I hate cheese.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, I really do.
Well, I didn't get to ask you any questions on the red carpet.
Do it now.
Okay. If you were to be a pretty cheese, what kind of cheese would you be?
I would be. I wouldn't even be vegan cheese because I hate vegan cheese even more.
Okay. Are you jealous of?
I'd be Edam because it has a red. The outside's red and the insides are hard.
Do you believe in white lives or black pepper?
I'm worried that if I answer one, I'm going to get cancelled.
Don't say anything. My questions are quite intense, and BBC Three had to like unseason them because they were too spicy.
Well, speaking of spice,
Mm, yeah, of course. But you know, Pixie had a great answer because I said, "Do you white salt or black pepper?" And Pixie said, "I'm a white
I'm
drag
white.
queen.
I don't
I don't
season
season
things.
everything." I thought it was genius. Speaking of spice,
Speaking of spice, I only know one Spice song,
mm,
and it was like from years ago.
yeah,
Um, so I don't know that much about Spice, but what Vanity gave me was enough for me to get who Spice was.
yeah. To be honest, I love Vanity. I think to me it was great, but it wasn't like overly memorable. And I wanted with the setup that Vanity has by being so great on the last episode, I was just really hoping for a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who was her other choice? She had another choice, didn't she?
Yeah, she did have another choice. Let me just try to remember. I literally just saw it a minute ago. She said she wanted to do the Jamaican accent. Should we find out?
Either doing Meg the Stallion, the hot girl hottie.
Oh my gosh, yes. Meg the Stallion.
Oh, I'm very glad she didn't,
Why?
because it would have just been like between her and Stephanie doing Megan the Stallion and Cardi B. I think it would have been too much of a similar ilk,
Yeah.
and it would have just been a lot of like catchphrase. It would have been a catchphrase competition.
Yeah, true. I think so as well. I just feel
Whereas
like
I think with Spice, there was enough that we didn't know about Spice for her to make it work.
yeah, and also like be a bit like crazy with the whole boom boom vibes and like the accent and everything made it more
But again, with that, I wanted more.
did you? Yeah, I thought we could have gone crazier. But that's Vanity withholding though. I think Vanity doesn't withhold on stage when they're performing, but they withhold when they're acting or they're like delivering a talent. They're like they're Vanity is like just divinely talented and just an incredible
Uh-huh.
thing. So it's just like one of those things where like once they have to focus on doing something well, they get in their head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I get that. I
Yeah,
get that.
totally. I mean, I can get like that as well when I want something to be really good that I start messing it up. Um, so we had the finale runway. I keep saying finale because the finale was like 2 days ago for season 4. We had the runway and it was celestial bodies.
Great runway.
I know. We okay, so let's start. Let's just go in order here. So we had Silky come out as
A dragon.
yeah. What did you think?
Great outfit. Like her makeup looked good. I didn't get it as a celestial body.
I was like, as soon as I could see the pipe with the smoke coming out and just saw the dragon, I was just like, bin it.
Oh, I liked the dragon and the pipe, like the dragon and the smoke. I thought it was camp. It was stupid.
It is, but I just feel like it was a lot of effort, and I don't think the payoff was that elevated.
No, the payoff could have been more. But also, I think it was probably that like she didn't like she probably let too much smoke out, and then when they turned the lights off to get the effect, it was like
Yeah,
it was
that's
like it was like a wank after 4. You know, it was just like
what you just said literally just dropped in my head, and I realized exactly. I just got a visual. That's hilarious.
thank
Okay,
you.
so
This is why do I paint a picture with words.
I felt like Silky's last runway was incredible, and this one I just felt was a bit like it was very Silky for a season for me.
Yeah, but her makeup was it was she looked great.
Yeah, of course. Why are you not dragging Silky?
I mean, I just trying to be nice, you know, sisters.
All
Kiss,
right.
kiss, kiss, kiss.
All right, fine. You can be nice to those of the queens. What did you think of Isis Couture? She was my favorite.
Looked great, lovely, no complaints.
It was an absolutely incredible. Are you joking? It was like one of the best runways I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was. No, I wouldn't say it
No?
was one of the best runways I've ever seen. One of the best runways I've ever seen on a Canadian version.
Yeah, true. I think
No, no, Priyanka, no.
Priyanka's incredible as well. But I just feel like Isis is just like it is drag, but it's like such high fashion. It's like
Yeah,
editorial
it's
level.
concept drag and it's great. And
Yeah.
like, I'm not faulting it at all. I just, I don't think it's the best I've ever seen.
All right, fine. What do you think of Raj's Celestial Silver vibes?
Now, I loved it. And I sent it a picture of it to the person who makes a lot of my outfits. And I was like, I want, because I love a jumpsuit. I
Yeah.
was like, I want a jumpsuit like that. But also, I don't think it was spacey enough.
Do you know? Yeah, I feel like it was reduced. It was reduced to, like the foundations of what space would look
It
like.
was like, hi, I'm an alien, but I've
So that
learned how to dress like I'm going out on a Saturday night.
yeah, it's like you got invited to like a space party, but you still wanted to look chic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm going to a space party, but also I've got dinner somewhere fancy before. So
yeah.
I'm just going to spray my hair in the toilet before I leave.
You were so funny. What did you think of Vanities? So Vanity was wearing like the metallic sort of spikes that were like a blue
Oh,
and a
yeah.
green. But I wrote on my notes like hedgehog peacock.
Very hedgehog penis. Very hedgehog penis. Hedgehog peacock. It was a
It was
bit
like
Sonic the
peacock.
Hedgehog.
Yeah, it's like yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. Yes, is it like a peacock?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I liked the outfit. I'm not going to say dress. It's not. I mean, like the dress. I liked the outfit.
yeah,
She was wearing a headpiece, wasn't she?
yeah. It was a headpiece, and it was quite
I
intense.
wasn't a fan of the headpiece.
I feel like that it wasn't that celestial to me. It was an incredible look though. But
Great, good.
if the look was like if the runway was like metallics or like I love that color palette, green, blue, and like that sort of shine is just really great for me. I really
Yeah, there's just a thing with drag at the minute that loads of people are getting things made that are in that like oil slick plastic vinyl,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I'm a bit sick of it.
Okay. All right, you heard it here first. You're like
But when it's done
patrolling for
well,
drag, groundbreaking.
oh my god, I'm like, when I'm doing my one, I'm like, I love everything, and then I come with someone else's, I'm like, it's shit, I hate it.
No, it's so funny. I just keep trying to imagine what your runway would look like if you had to do celestial bodies.
Well, men are from Venus and girls are from Mars,
Yeah,
so
fine.
maybe that's what I'd have done.
Well, that's true. That
Maybe
makes
I'd have bagged it up. There's always time for a Joey reference.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. What do you think of Stephanie's Battler?
Oh, great, lovely.
It was incredible.
I thought it was slightly more. What was last week's like Queen of the World? I thought it was slightly more Queen of the Worldy than
Yeah,
it was Celestial.
I do agree with you. It was a specific like spirit entity like from her culture. So it was bringing that to life. So I think it was really beautiful, and I the makeup was incredible. It was.
Yeah, I think that's something that she's really smashed this season so far. Is every runway has had connections to her culture, and like that's really amazing to do when you're especially on a world
Platform,
a
yeah.
versus the world stage, because it's more, it's just bringing everything to life.
I agree. I think that it's amazing when things have like anchor points in your culture and your experience and like teach people things, rather than just be like so commercially referential.
Yeah,
Mm.
rather than just a nice dress, she's like, I'm going to school you in a
Yeah.
nice dress.
Okay, so what did you think about Vanities? Oh, I said Vanity, sorry. What did you think about Anita?
Lovely hat, lovely hat.
I thought it was incredible. It looked like something like very surrealist to me.
Yeah, I liked it. It was camp, and it was also fashion.
Yeah, it was. I just love how Brooklyn started with the let's start with the look. And you could just tell that she was going to get dragged first.
Yeah, yeah, it was very that. But
My,
I loved that she bought that foam headpiece, because it's such an Australian thing to do, and it was like real, like this is Australian drag.
yeah, true. That headpiece is very Australian.
Yeah,
I've seen both seasons of Down Under, and I'm just like, yep, I've seen that. I've seen that way before.
yeah. You just borrowed it off someone and sprayed it black, thrown some glitter on, put a moon on it.
Don't give away all your secrets.
Babe, drag is just recycling,
No, it's true. It's true. Nothing.
or it should be.
Yeah.
Ambulance.
No, nothing. I'm just thinking about your sustainable drag.
Well, it's hard, because so much of what literally is covering my body right now is plastic. But
No, of course.
it's how can I make this wig, last? How much can I wear it? Can I restyle it? Can I get rid of part of it?
Yeah.
My outfits. How can I do this in such a way that it's not just throwing plastic away?
being creative does not have to be wasteful. I mean,
Exactly.
on the flower fight, we didn't use any polystyrene or anything that wasn't recyclable in the sculptures, and all the plants were taken out of the sculptures and re-put in the nursery so we could use them again.
Great.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was like a really sustainable show.
Yeah, that really is.
Yeah, it was really, really
And
cool.
all of the lights were powered by someone on a cycle.
60 young children from
60
Bangladesh.
young children cycling for 8 weeks.
Victoria Scone though, I love that.
I really loved it. And the thing is, as well, with it, she's really thought about the fact that you can't bring something hard. Well, she could bring something hard, but she's got to get in a suitcase and across the world.
Yeah.
So she's gone for something that's soft, that then when you spin, that's when you're getting the rotational orb. But
Yeah.
also when it's not being spun, it still looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah, also it was cut in a way that it would be easier to like modular to get over, but also it was just stunning. It was stunning. I thought I loved it.
Yeah.
I
And
think
the jumpsuit was gorgeous.
from what we know of Victoria on Drag Race so far, we've seen her in like all of these like camp and pantomime kind of looks, and I just feel like this was like a really elevated vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
really.
the hair, the slick down wavy hair.
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfection.
And what did you think about Rita?
Again, the smoke, it was very like,
Yeah,
I wanted more smoke.
weird because Isis comes across to me like a winner that you need to be, and Rita comes across as like someone that I was like, really?
But
Because
Rita has that kind of old school drag personality that really gets her places. Like, she's so camp and she's so stupid, but also kind of great at the same time.
I love how great she is. I think she's an incredible queen. I just think that everyone's already assumed, like, even when Justin Trudeau met, he was like, yes, he said in French, he said, oh, I've met you, we've met before, like, I know of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's one of
Maybe Rita Baga is the Cheddar Gorgeous of Canada.
I feel like Rita Baga is the Lady Bunny of Drag Race. It's like, what would happen if Lady Bunny went on Drag Race?
Yeah, she would wear her pads really low,
Uh-huh.
and that would be that.
So our top two queens are Isis Couture and Raja. And the bottom we had Stephanie, which you thought was going to go last episode, and we had who was the other one? Anita.
Yes. I think Anita should have been in the bottom.
Yeah.
I actually don't think Stephanie should have been in the bottom this week.
Who did you think should have been?
I don't know. I just think that like there was a few people who were as bad as Stephanie, and Stephanie's outfit was great at the end.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, I don't think she should have been in the bottom.
Then who would you have put in the bottom? You have to pick someone.
I don't. I'm gonna say Vanity
Okay, maybe.
because her snatch game was just as good or just as bad. Like neither of them had like massively memorable moments.
Yeah, fine.
And I would have done Stephanie, Vanity, and Anita.
That's actually fair play. I mean, you could do that if it was because they weren't so bad that they were in the bottom. They were like it was just like
Yeah,
worst of a bad bunch. On like if 50% of Snatch Game was good and 50% was bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
but it
just
wasn't like,
wasn't. Neither of them were bad. They were
yeah,
just
no one bombed except for Anita.
yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I can see that. Um, I were you surprised to see Stephanie go? Stephanie to me is a queen that like has a lot of potential, but I feel like whenever they're like so determined to stay and get to the end, it makes me a bit like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, like as a fellow early outer,
Mhm.
did Stephanie go first or second?
It was it was quite early on, but I think it
Well,
was the first.
as a fellow early outer, I think you're either going in to prove something or to get to the end. And I
Yeah.
think that she kind of did prove something in that, like, her outfits were great. Her runway outfits were phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the curse of Snatch Game got her.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Always, Snatch Game eats up Asian girls.
Wow. On the loose, Snatch Game.
Yeah, it's taken so many. Something,
Yeah, true.
River,
Hmm.
LaFille,
True.
Pangina,
Oh yeah, you're right.
and now Stephanie.
Did you just sense a pattern?
I haven't sensed this. This is something that's been told to me.
Really
It's
crazy.
other people have sensed it, and I'm just, reiterating the sensing.
I
I
never.
am the sensei.
Yeah, sensei. Just May, the sensei. That's so funny. Well, I'm kind of happy with this episode. I always feel like there's one or two episodes where just like what's gonna happen happens, and I'm not really like shocked or like completely like blown away by it. I was
Yeah.
like I knew Stephanie was gonna be one of the earlier queens to leave. I just felt it.
Yeah.
She self-nominated herself as a look queen, which is great. And I just feel like she got what she needed.
And I think she redeemed herself because she did that. But what she didn't redeem herself on, which got called out at the start that we didn't talk about, was her using Fishy in her song last week.
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember watching that in the morning and I woke up before with a bit of a hangover and I was watching it and I was like, this is an intense conversation to be having right now. And like it's such a shame because saying that if you were to eat food and or seafood and you'd call it fishy, it was like that was just
Yeah,
not.
you're being really reductive.
Yeah, you're being reductive and also you're missing the point. And like I was
Yeah.
upset when Victoria was like visibly upset about like the fact that
Yeah, of course she is,
like,
because it's like saying fishy is such a gross term
yeah.
anyway,
And I don't think
in
that
that context.
yeah, and I don't think that Lady Boy is on the same level of that as that.
I mean, the thing is though, that is a cultural thing, and if you're doing that in your culture where it's okay, I'm not saying it is okay or it isn't,
Yeah.
but if you're doing that there, then fine.
Yeah.
You're in a community where that's an acceptable term. It's
Mhm.
kind of like how Rue's reaction to faggot was
Yeah.
when Copper wore it. Over here, we say faggot all the time. We call each other faggot.
Yeah, true.
But to Rue, it was an offensive thing. It was like, it took her aback because it's not in her vocabulary.
That's
And
true.
it's like you have to kind of go, okay, I get that. So I won't do it again. But also that's how you learn and words change. But
Yeah.
I think that Stephanie's reaction to how Victoria said,
Mhm.
I'm upset about this, was kind of like, she didn't even go, I see you're upset, sorry. She basically went, oh well,
Yeah, I agree with you.
I
I
did
think
it anyway.
when
I'm
you're in
still going to get the royalties.
when you're in a situation where someone is calling you out and they're the person who's being offended, I think it's just important to take accountability. It's a huge leap of courage just to be like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I won't do it again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think if she would have done that, it would have been like,
I love how
okay,
someone
cool.
someone was sitting there and they're just like, stop talking.
Yeah. Like,
Stop.
stop talking. Your misogyny is showing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of stop talking, thank you so much, Just Made, for coming and chatting about episode 2.
Thanks for having me. I
What
enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it.
what's next for you in the next month or two?
Just lots of Christmassy things. There's something coming out at the start of December.
Yeah.
There is the Drag Race UK season 4 tour. Get your tickets.
Amazing.
And
Get a guest.
huh?
I'm on guest list.
Oh, great.
Mhm.
Not mine. Um,
I'm cutting
unless you want
that
to come
out.
to one of the smaller cities.
Yeah, of course. I love traveling.
Great. Come to a smaller city. Take my guest list there.
Yeah, why not?
Where Stockport, come there.
This just May knows no one regionally.
Yeah, no, I really don't. If it's not Essex or London,
See you in
uh,
Bristol.
but and see you at DragCon.
Yeah, no, of course.
Come to my booth. Booth
I'll
number. Insert booth number
definitely
here.
Yeah. Everyone get your tickets to DragCon. Make sure you go see Just May. I adore you. Thank you for like wrapping up episode 2 of Canada versus the World.
Great, thanks for having me. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, ciao, baby.
Mwah. Bye.
Oh, I stopped my video. I want to stop recording. Where is it?